Okay, so I went through my typical Welcome to Journey walkthrough if I was continuing to do a walkthrough. But guys, I think I covered everything because for once I actually beat a game on a video game marathon. It took less than 3 hours and I didn't think it would be that fast, but hey, here we are. So, just typical like my other videos, I never thought this would happen in a game in a long while, but like to give my verdict. So, what would I give Journey? A 10. Instant 10. Absolutely 10. I have no complaints. This is going to be pretty straightforward, so nothing more I can say. There is no negatives on the game. I can't think of any negative games because the game does extremely well done. It never does anything negative. I can't think of anything negative because the game is just pitch perfect. I have no complaints. That's not like me in games. A game, even when it has a 10, I can find a flaw with it. But this game, I can't. I really can't. Alright, so what's about the positive? I'm excited about this one. Alright, is there a story? Yes, but it's more of metaphors and symbolism. Why the story is just really one of those, even if you play it one time, it has a great impact on you. It's a great metaphor of life. I'm not trying to be philosophical, but I'm sorry, this game begs to be it begs to be analyzed. When you start the game, it's basically you just kind of start from birth, like when you're a baby. You're not you're just trying to discover the world, trying to discover, and yes, there's been analysis videos done for Journey like multiple times. So I'm going to do my best to throw my analysis of what my interpretation is. But you could tell that it's about life. When you first play the game, the character is literally trying to understand the world, kind of like a baby, taking their first steps, opening their eyes, kind of understanding the perception of what the life is like, just kind of taking their baby steps in the world. That's what the first level does well, because you're just trying to understand the world, but by baby steps. Then you become a teenager, and that's when we get to the second level. You're trying to experiment, try to you're still cautious, but you're a risk taker, so you're just trying to go past the outside wall. Then when we get to past teenager years, or kind of in that college years, where you're kind of sand surfing. It's kind of like enjoying life to its fullest in a sense, and you don't care about the rest. You're just the thrill seeker into that. That's college years. Then we get to the heart of darkness. I like to call that video is when we get to the pit. When we're in our middle age years, and when we're in the middle age years, we're a little cautious, but we still enjoy life. But we're more cautious. We're aware of the realities. We're aware of what awaits us, like death and actual caution, and you can get hurt easily. There's consequences as you get to your middle ages here. You think about stuff. You don't just kind of rush in. You kind of think about, oh, this looks like this will hurt me. I will not actually do this, or I'll be a thrill seeker still, but I'm thinking like a middle-aged person. Then it's not really the jellyfish years, but I'm gonna tie it to it. Then we get to our middle age years that we're not slowing down, but we take all the thrills and lies, but by minor things. We're already adult. We have a family. We're not as thrill seekers, but we still find enjoyment in the little things with the whole of the flying. But it's more precise, kind of like with our characters. When they're flying, there's a precision to them. That's what we do when we're in our 40s and 50s. And then the perfect level, the blizzard, is kind of like when you get to your 60 and above, or maybe even 50s, but really 60 and above. That's where your body begins to degrade. You kind of lose sense of taste in a sense. Not all the time, but all of the stuff that gave you pleasure before 60, you're losing all your sense of your motor affection. You can't see well, you can't read well, you can't run as fast. Your nervous system is just slowing down. Your body is just degrading, and you're just slowing down like the wizard. Like like the sorry, not Wizard, the Blizzard was degrading all your two characters. As me and the co-op boy, we were slowing down, like we were slowing down in time. This Blizzard was kind of us in old age. I know I'm getting metaphorical here, and I know I'm getting kind of philosophical, but that's what the game is designed to. You have to do a double take, but that's kind of where it's leading to. I don't think it's. Maybe the developer didn't mean to do that. I don't think they intentionally did that. But it feels like they did. And that results in just basically ascension towards the end. After old age, flying and just kind of like getting to ascension. That last moment is just a beautiful sequence of just getting towards the end, to life's end. Peace, tranquility. That just has a big impact. Maybe people will interpret it different ways. I hope they do. I hope they do a little their own perspective of what they are. But I think it's just kind of like a perspective of life, from birth through death, and then going to higher planes of existence. I didn't mean to get deep like that, but I think that's the takeaway from this type of game. I love when games make me think like that, Journey especially. And I think it's very perfect by the ending. A perfect ending choice too. A perfect song. It leads us back to where we started. It's kind of like not rebirth, but but our new generation. When we die, a new generation starts. It's like a legacy after ourselves die. And then our children carry on our legacy. Our grandkids continue on our legacy. I just think that's perfect. I just love the story for that because it's in its interpretation. It may not be like your. You might want like a story like Mass Effect and so on, but I think Journey succeeds in the story just for its simplicity and its relatability. That's why I think it makes a great impact on that. It's not just from the beginning, it makes an impact, especially towards the end. I always love playing that sequence in the Blizzard, and I especially love the ending. I think it won it Game of the Year in 2012 for good reason. It's just one of a kind, and there just hasn't been a lot of sequence or games that just endings that done it so well like that. It's just such a great impact. Another thing I really liked about positive artistic design, from the beautiful golden sand of the sand serpent to the correct or the very dark and gloomy solemn blizzard level, to the heart of the darkness level that I like to call it, to just the jellyfish level of underwater sand surfing or sand flying. Everything just doesn't feel out of place. It just feels intricately beautiful. Like there was so much design and so much detail that went into the artistic design. I seen great artistic design in Greece. This one's no exception. Journey is kind of one of the tops. There's a reason why artistic design games are still fantastic. Journey's one of them. Enough said. It's just beautiful to look at from the beginning to the end. There's just no flaws in the artistic design. I'm not even gonna mention the frame rate. There's nothing wrong with the frame rate. Everything's perfect with the artistic design. Yeah, what else did I enjoy about this game? Never thought I actually would cover this after I just beat the game. Odd. The musical score by Austin Wintory. This is one of his best. There is no comparison. I have not heard any other Austin Wintory that gets to the Journey type of caliber. There's a reason why Journey won the Grammy Awards for Best Video Game Soundtrack. It's still a great video game soundtrack. It tops. It gets very close to the Halo or Kingdom Hearts series. It's just a fantastic score. It fits every scene. It fits the sad moments, the happy moments, the any story moments that we're seeing. It just fits. It has great violent accompaniment. I had to mention that the orchestra they kill it with the soundtrack from the beginning to the end. And one last thing that I really enjoyed about the game, as you guys probably saw, it's the co-op. the co-op as I played with that one guy throughout the whole game, and even to the ending. I love playing the co-op. You can play it in single player and still have a fantastic time, but with the co-op, it just adds a sense of camaraderie. It adds a sense of friendship, and it adds a sense of like you and him are in it, or you and this other person are in it together. You guys are going to make that journey, and it just feels like you guys are building, even though no one's talking, unless you don't have a mic. It just feels like the certain bond that you just don't find in certain games. You can play co-op with other specific games, but there's a bigger impact playing the journey because it just feels like you guys actually accomplished something in that short amount of time. It just feels like there was a bond. I guess during the pandemic. So yeah, a 10. I think it absolutely deserves a 10. I think I highly recommend you guys play it. There's going to be definitely different interpretations, but I highly recommend you play this game. I can't say otherwise. Play it, play it, play it. This is one of the games I highly recommend. You would be, even if you're not a gamer, as I said in one of my other videos, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it, and you're going to thank me. You're going to play it once, and probably never play it again, and that's okay. I think its ending is going to make a bigger impact. If it doesn't, that's okay. The fact that you got to play this masterpiece of a game that they put their heart and soul in is a testament. Sorry if I sound very much serious than usual, but this game just made an impact. Even as I get older, it always makes an impact. I'm probably going to play it again, even after this walkthrough. So, I'm not going to say stay tuned, because it's probably is going to be a while since I do another Journey walkthrough. It's sad to say, but I beat it, and you guys got to see the streaming, so there's my verdict. Hope you guys enjoyed the walkthrough, and have a good night.